Hi, it's me, She-Devil by Night.
Oh no, not these.
Just kidding!
Excuse me.
Welcome to the Cup! Welcome to the Cup, the currently unnamed podcast where we put the tea in reality and we, I'm Logan Murphy.
And I've got a severe case of Camilla Parker irritable bowel syndrome. Eris envy your punk rock hairy Mary. Today I'm drinking nothing because my cup is empty. And speaking of my cup is empty, we'll talk about one runway look this week.
So I don't even get to do an intro now, okay?
Here we go. My name is Reya, and welcome to the game. I'm Karen from Finance, clocking in tonight. I'll be dotting all the I's. Nope, I'll be dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's.
I'm the one to get it right.
Get it right. And I am so tired tonight. I am drinking piss from a phallic-shaped object.
I just love how I didn't get to intro.
I thought you were done with your intro.
No, I wasn't, bitch. You just interrupted me as you always do.
Well, go ahead. Have your moment.
Moment.
I don't want to have my moment anymore. I just want to get this over with.
It's another episode of Down Under.
It's another episode of Down Under. This is like the least fun I've had with this season. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. Well, you know why? That's because Minnie Cooper's not here. Minnie Cooper. I'm so sorry.
I would just like to point out that Eris just called the super trooper motherfucking Minnie Cooper by the name of Minnie Cooper.
Minnie, I'm so sorry. When I tell you to,
and we know she watches the pod, so I'm gonna send her this clip as soon as we're done.
Fuck you, Logan. Anyway, yeah. I didn't like this episode because there was no Minnie Cooper.
Honestly, I just want to shout out Minnie Cooper for honestly being one of the sweetest Drag Race queens I've ever interacted with. We finally have a Drag Race queen that follows the podcast, like on Twitter, I presumably on YouTube. So thank you, Minnie. We sincerely appreciate you, and yeah, all of that. But yes, Minnie Cooper is gone. I'm honestly really distraught. Honestly, I think the reason why I didn't enjoy this episode as much is because there was no Minnie Cooper. Honestly.
But was there a Dance in the Dark?
No, not this episode.
Oh well.
There was something.
Is Drag Race Down Under ever gonna give us a group musical number that doesn't place below 100th in terms of ranking all the girl group numbers? Because I mean,
I think there's one from this episode.
Okay.
I
kind of meant like the bass tracks, but still.
Oh. No.
If we're ranking them overall,
No.
I mean, the worst ever, the two worst ever come from one queen who was on the first season. I'm not going to name no names, Karen from Finance.
Oh, yeah, no. So I don't know if y'all saw, I don't know if this is what you're referencing. Someone on TikTok did a ranking of every English Drag Race verse that's ever been done. And the bottom three were literally Karen in the girl group, Pandora on All-Star 6, and Karen in the finale of Down Under. Like, those are the bottom three.
Yeah.
We've been through so much, my sisters and I like to think of us as colleagues.
What the fuck was that? Like, I'm sorry. I don't know what the fuck that was. It was not in tune. We could spend all day talking about Drag Race Down Under season 1.
Give them a writer. Give the girls a writer. Even though I feel there were actually some good verses on this episode. There were some other verses, but there were some good verses.
Nothing will beat Papa Fate, but...
Papa Fate. Yeah, they had the very big struggle of coming straight after what is now one of my all-time favorite girl group challenges.
Yeah, it's recency bias. A lot of my negative thoughts are honestly recency bias just because we literally just saw the Philippines absolutely slay a girl group challenge.
I believe it was Filipino poet laureate Turing who once famously said, "Boom, Turing."
Okay, well, what does that have to do with anything, bitch?
Eris was ready to do some.
Reya, I'm so happy to have you and only you on this podcast today. I would like
to episode 7 again.
But that was a lot of fun because it was streamlined and we didn't have an Eris envy involved.
Perhaps.
I'm getting bullied.
Anyway, Minnie's gone. We're still clearly upset about it. But only lists Queen, Spank, and Yuri as friends.
Ooh.
It gave very I forget what season it was, but it was like this queen, and this queen are it was Madame the Queer on season 4. It was like Chad, Dita, Milan equals true friends. It gave me that vibe. I was like, yes.
Emily was just like, "Oh, we're not best friends. Who cares?"
Hannah was like, "I'm gonna go cry about it later."
Good.
I have to say, I'm kind of coming around on Hannah. I think I'm liking Hannah a little bit more than I did before.
She's bearable.
She's
funny.
She's talented.
She's pumped.
Talent.
Race.
No.
Speaking of,
that felt very fitting. Anyway, Bev is over it.
As I would be too, because she's been in the bottom twice.
In a row. And she gets, they're in the workroom the next day, and she gets the good old classic Drag Race crossfade of like, I'm a lip syncer. This is what I do. Like, what I do for a living is lip syncing. And like, when I'm on the stage, I lip sync. And like, my heart is on that stage while I'm lip syncing. Because in case you didn't know, I'm on the stage lip syncing for my life. But add an Australian accent over all of that.
Yeah.
Arnar.
Honestly, if we were to have a white twink long term in this competition, I kind of wish it was Aubrey Hayes. But yeah, so we go to the RuPaul comes in. The RuPaul.
The green screen.
The Rupert walks into the workroom, and it's the reading challenge.
Whoa.
I think this is overall the shittiest reading challenge I've ever seen.
Because let's flash back to Drag Race Down Under Season 1 again. With the iconic read from Art Simone.
I was going to say, that's one of my favorite reads of all time. Etc. uses they, them pronouns. So for example, they haven't been in the top, so we're not going to be seeing them in the finale. Truly one of my favorite reads of all time.
I definitely didn't steal that read for when I did the roast at Yates shows a couple of weeks ago, where I said cup of tea uses they them pronouns, yet they smell like she it.
Oh my god.
And then everyone applauded.
Also, in case you missed it, Eris is from York.
No, I'm from the Hairvale. I'm not. Fuck you. First of all, Reya.
Okay.
Listen, I won't get on Logan because Logan lives in the American South, and that's just tragic. Reya,
I don't live in the South.
You live in the South part of the United States.
I live in the Southwest.
Is that not the South?
There is a severe difference.
Okay, and
we're not all racists here. Some people are, but not all of us.
Reya chose to live in the south of England, and that's just horrifying.
When I moved to England and moved in with Reya and not Eris, then what?
Then you'll have to live around people who take the piss out of the way I say no for the rest of your life.
That's fine with me. Anyway,
fit right in.
I wrote down some reads that I thought were at least half decent from this episode. Oh,
A blank page.
Oh,
no one's trying to see your tits again.
as you were saying, some reads. Was it, Logan?
Yeah, you need some because you're an illiterate bitch. I wrote down a couple. I don't know if this is even really a good read, but it was Beverly to Molly, where she's like, when Molly needs some positive news, she goes and gets a chlamydia test.
I thought it was funny. I
at least thought it was unique. I'd never heard that before, so I was like, okay, this is fine. Unique. Bev also apparently wants to Eiffel Tower with Yuri and Queen, and they both turned her down.
Womp womp womp.
Yeah, a bit of a flop.
Bye, flop. Queen. I love Queen. Well, Queen. So just in case you missed it, Kween Kong. Yes, she's Kween Kong.
Kween Kong.
She's like, Beverly Killz. I know what you're not killing. The competition. And then Spankie's former drag name, Bigfoot. And then the other one I wrote down was Hannah reading Yuri saying, the only thing you're good at is writing Spankie's oversized coattails.
Oh.
But she looked pumped.
Anyway, yes, she's Kween Kong.
Yeah, she's Kween Kong. And she's the only one who made me laugh.
Yeah.
Bev's read to Molly made me laugh.
Honestly, I would have liked it more if she just added a ding dong in there for no reason.
Ding dong! Well, she didn't in Snatch Game, so I would have liked to see it here. We go on to the Maxi Challenge. It's girl groups. We're doing Bosom Buddies. No shade to whoever sang on this track. It's not good. The vocals are good. The track itself is not good.
I like that they lifted the interpolation from Brutal by Olivia Rodrigo. You know, with the guitar riff. And it sounded as in tune as that.
They're trying to be on brand.
It was giving Kid Spot.
Oh my god, you're actually right. But
I was adding nothing of value. Go ahead, Logan.
Okay, I'm not gonna say anything shady. I'm not doing it this time.
I said it quietly.
Thank you. You set yourself up for that one. Anyway, so they have to pick their own teams, and I love that immediately Queen is like, "Oh, Spankie's on my right, Hannah's on my left." Boom. Which leaves Bev, Molly, and Yuri as the other team.
The leftovers.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm still hiding
team leftovers.
Yeah, I am too embarrassed. Don't worry. It's a fresh wound. Okay, so I'm gonna be real honest. The mid part of this episode was incredibly fucking boring.
Yeah, I mean, there was just there was just this boring prattle between Kween Kong and Bev, which honestly, it just seemed like it came out of nowhere. Like, that group was teasing Bev for their fucking rehearsal or whatever it was, and then Bev was like, "Oh, you can get up and do some choreo then." And Queen took it in like such an incredible personal way that she decided she needed to spend the rest of the day being pissed off with Bev. It was like saying, "Oh, well, Bev's insecure and she's reflecting it on me." She was like, "No, you were interrupting them whilst they were doing their rehearsal because you and your wannabe mean girls are like over there giggling in the corner." And like, I love Queen, but I think that was just, it was stupid. It was dumb. It's like, it's not drama in the way that it's fun, like we've been getting on Drag Race Philippines. It's drama in the way where it's pedantic and it'll be squashed by the end of the episode, and I won't care. And even
Go ahead.
And even when we come back into the workroom the next day, I hate this fest. Even when we come back into the workroom the next day, Bev's like, "Oh well, I didn't feel like that matronly energy from you." And
it's like nobody's Okay, so first of all, it's nobody's responsibility to be a maternal figure, especially in a competition reality show.
Yeah.
2, I'm not saying. I want to preface what I'm going to say by saying that I don't think Bev is racist, but the fact that she is calling a queen of color the maternal figure just feeds into microaggressions that we've seen on Drag Race before, specifically in Down Under. And I'm not saying that she is racist. I'm just saying it made me feel uncomfortable when Bev made these comments towards Queen specifically.
Yeah. And those tiny comments, for some reason, it was all that Queen needed for Queen to be spiraling for the rest of the day. Like, it says a lot about the emotional state of Queen, and it also just, the whole thing, like, in my opinion, both sides were kind of in the wrong. Bev for like putting this motherly figure title on Queen, and the rest of her team for like making fun of them for rehearsing and then saying, "Oh well, you're insecure," blah 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 blah. I just felt like all the workroom parts of this episode were just aimless, and it was dumb. It was stupid.
Because the whole edit is basically just whenever we see what I come to find out, the team was called BAB'Z. I had no clue what either team was called, and I had to look at the episode to see what they were called. But the Queen Spankie Hannah team, anytime they're on the screen doing like their rehearsal, doing their choreo, doing their recording, whatever, it's all of it is just voiceover, specifically and mostly from Queen, where she's like, "I finally feel confident. I've shown up for the competition." And then there's like one moment from Hannah where she's like, "I'm just so happy for Queen. She's finally getting her moment. This is her element." And I love that. And that's all good and wonderful and lovely. And then we end up with the results of the episode, and none of it is surprising at all.
It's like we knew from the jump who was winning this episode.
We'll talk about what actually happens because I was a little gagged. But then the edit surrounding Bev, Molly, and Yuri is literally just, "Oh, none of us know how to work together properly. This isn't going to be good." And literally 15 minutes into the episode, I was like, okay, so Queen is going to win, and someone else is going to be in the bottom. Like, 2 of the 3 other queens are going to be in the bottom.
Yeah.
Sorry. Eris, may you adjust your microphone ever so delicately, please?
We've tried to not call you out in the middle of this podcast, but now we're calling you out in the middle of this podcast.
Trending.
Okay, that's fine, but also like we can hear you breathing, love.
It's like my fan is on.
I'm going through a lot.
I thought your fan was on, Reya.
I'm just going through a lot.
I know you are, and we still love you, but like we both private messaged you, and then we had to tell you on the podcast.
You private messaged me? Oh,
phallic object.
Ooh.
Anyway, yeah. So they record
larger phallic object.
Eris, not fucking Eris. They do record their.
You're not on Drag Race, Eris.
And I don't want to be because RuPaul scares me.
Yeah.
She's gonna suck out all my youth and beauty, and the only thing that'll be left is like.
That's a good one. Youth, beauty. That's a good one.
I'm going to do to you what Serena Chacha did to Akira's wig.
Well, you can't because I don't have any hair.
Bitch. Yeah. What the fuck was I saying? Okay, yeah, so they're recording their songs. And we find out that Spankie Jackzon can sing.
I loved that, honestly. I was like, come on, versatile queen.
And a lot of things about Spankie's success begin to make sense.
Come on, Dad.
She's talented. She's a very talented individual. Also,
She's a very talented middle-aged dad.
I would like to apologize for tweeting last night. How do I explain Spankie Jackzon to my children? To which Spankie has seen and replied with, "You just don't."
I love Spankie. Like, I mean,
Honestly,
Spankie, if you ever come to the US, I'll take your flat ass any day.
I think with this season, I am a little bit shocked that she's a front runner, because at first it was kind of like older queen, she's gonna struggle with the competition. I've said this before about someone else, but I can't remember.
Minnie.
But
no, I think you did say this about Minnie at some point.
I think you did. No, I think it was Minnie, but you also referenced someone else. I think it was Chad Michaels you referenced. I could be wrong. Oh, it's Charlie Hides.
Charlie Hides.
Was it?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
That was like what I was going for. That, you know, older queen, they're going to struggle with the competition. That's somewhat what we saw with Minnie, but they forced that edit on her. And then with Spankie, that's kind of what you thought going into it. And then now she's the front runner. Like,
yeah, it gives me, in a very different way, it gives me a similar trajectory to Jinx Monsoon on season 5. Yeah. Where, like, Jinx is very talented. Her runway looks were not there on season 5.
No.
And as we're seeing, Spankie is incredibly talented. Her looks are not there for the most part. But, like, the talent is still there. And, like...
Talent.
Spankie Mother Tucker in the house tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to just talk about the girl groups?
Yeah, let's go.
Also, I don't know. I realized it this episode. We've only had one guest judge this season.
Down Under is weird. I think it might be their lockdown laws. Because this was filmed in 2021, so I think New Zealand was still locking down.
Oh my god, was it?
Yeah, because like New
Zealand is like the model for how COVID should be handled. Point blank, period.
Oh no, I'll talk about it later. Never mind.
Yeah. So let's talk about BAB'Z.
BAB'Z. I thought Ginny Lemon made an appearance, but apparently not.
Fancy a slow.
Hiya, BAB'Z.
I love that. I've forgotten her name. I love that Spankie is giving us that lady out of Gavin and Stacey. Do you know who I'm on about?
Yes.
Oh, Glenn.
Oh!
You know who I mean, Reya. I've just completely forgotten her name.
Nessa.
Yeah, she's giving me Nessa from like Gavin and Stacey. If she like quit working at the arcade and decided to be a Spankie Jackzon impersonator.
Who the hell would want to be a Spankie Jackzon impersonator?
Honestly, I would do it because it seems like I honestly want to live in Spankie Jackson's world.
Oh my god. Do we want the lyrics that everybody had? Because I have them available.
Yeah, because there's only 3 of them. It's not like Philippines where it took 20 minutes.
Right. So, okay, first is Hannah. Hannah says, little hands in the room, and y'all gonna hear her. I'm the shit, take a whip, because I'm gonna read you. Mama Ru brought us here, the best from down under, but girls look out, are gonna feel my thunder. A brush through your wig wouldn't make you go astray. A little more makeup you could applicate. I hate that
just
she used that word. Just say apply, girl.
Just say apply.
Get yourself together. It's the big leagues now. If you want to sit and cry, you can get the fuck out. Sorry, Ray, go ahead.
No, it's fine. The thing that kind of like made me cringe a little bit was like the line about the whip.
Yeah.
And I saw someone tweet this. I can't remember who for the life of me right now. But we'll talk about it later. But they had 2 white queens lip sync to Chains.
Yeah.
When S&M was right there.
Exactly. They already have the rights to it as well. Well, maybe not Down Under, but
I would like to say, actually, let's continue with the lyrics before I say anything about how they all look.
Okay. It's Spankie, Mother Tucker in the house tonight. I'm glad I brought a hanky because I'm gonna win this fight. I don't know who the tuck you are or why the hell you're here, but it doesn't even matter when you're fitter in here.
The absence of a verse.
The absence of anything.
But you know what? She sang it really well.
But you know what? She sounded beautiful.
Beautiful.
She's a vocalist, ladies and gentlemen. She's not a drag queen at all.
Oh my god.
I hate you.
I hate you.
Surprise, surprise.
Not this. Not the surprise. Okay, Queens is... I'm literally watching the episode right now and then getting the lyrics because there were no written lyrics. So in case anybody's wondering what these long pauses are, because you know what? Long pauses sometimes in episodes are really great. Sometimes they're very much needed. And that's to the person that commented on one of our videos saying that the long pauses were really distracting. You can go fuck yourself. Anyway... Kween Kong, enter. You're a basic bitch. I'm gonna say it to your face. We've been friends for a minute, so I'll give it to you straight. You a badass bitch, but you're a bitch at best. Stop playing around because your pussy smells bleh.
She ate.
Yeah.
She dressed like Madonna, rapped like Doja, cleared.
And Hannah looks like Baby Spice.
Hannah looks like Baby Spice. Okay, here's the thing. I thought this was a mess and a disaster until I saw the other team.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hannah was off the whole performance. Spankie and Kween did pretty well. And they looked fine together.
Yeah, whereas... Honestly, if it's... I don't want to say this because this is mean, but if you go from Spankie to Hannah, the sort of quality of drag goes like da-da-da-da-da-da, and the height goes da-da-da-da-da-da. Am I wrong? I mean, I like Spankie's bodysuit, and I think Kween looks good, and I love the bodysuit, and I love the cap, and I love the hair. Hannah looks really gorgeous because Hannah's got this really nice wig on, this really nice dance costume. Spankie, I love the bodysuit, and I will say nothing else about the rest to be nice.
She looks like Nessa.
Let's move on.
Please.
She's talented.
The Hung Divas.
Dot.
Let's talk about the name.
I would like to see it.
It's so... Why? Why?
Because they all have big dicks.
Do they, though? Because I don't get that energy.
Well, Beverly is a white twink, so potentially. Yuri, I believe it.
Yeah, definitely.
Molly, yeah, sure.
Maybe.
Bosom Buddies.
Anyway, do we want some lyrics?
No.
Okay, that's fine.
Not for this group.
Okay, that's fine.
Let's hear it.
Oh, I literally exited out of the tab, so we're not getting the lyrics.
Okay, Yuri, this bodysuit, it doesn't fit. She had this thin fucking strip between her legs, and she kept adjusting it.
It gave me the same sort of crotch situation that Tace had on the design challenge on UK Season 2. In the fucking Brillo pads.
I just want to know, why are they not feeding these queens? Because apparently everyone has lost weight.
Apparently.
Because this doesn't fit Yuri, and then we get to Spankie's runway look. Which also
I don't get it.
What I will say is, I collectively like the outfits of this group more, because they look like a unit.
Do they? They look like a stoplight.
I kind of like that, though. Can you imagine if...
I love you, girls.
Could you imagine if they put like an extra bit of thought, looked at all their outfits and went, let's call the group Stop and Start, like the letter N?
Oh, that would have been cute.
Or just traffic.
Yeah.
I bet you all thought I would never get here. Sorry. I was stuck in traffic.
I was stuck in plastic.
I was stuck in angina. I didn't make the reference this week, but Carol Pope is a rock goddess.
It has to come up at least once a week.
I would wear any of their outfits, honestly.
I honestly, the only outfit I really like is BAB'Z, if I'm being honest.
Beverly's is giving like Windows XP era logo.
She's giving Crash Dummy, and I love that. I think she looks like a hunting.
Yeah. Yeah. Bev was almost giving me too much energy.
But she was fighting for her life to not be in the bottom this episode.
Yeah.
She said not again. Not a third week in a row.
It's like Beverly was at like 220%. Molly was at like 80 and Yuri was at like 30.
Poor Yuri.
I know.
Also, was it Molly's verse that she was like, she mentioned something about an eye, and then the camera cut to Yuri?
Yeah, it was like an eyesore, and then it cut to Yuri, and I was like, that shade.
I was like, excuse me?
Remember when she had an eye infection? That was so fun.
Remember when she had an eye infection for one episode, and then literally it's never been discussed ever again?
Yeah. God.
I mean, I'm liking this season a lot more than season 1, but like the editing needs to get it together.
It is a mess.
Bosom Buddies, friends for all time.
I would like to never speak about these songs ever again.
It's so good.
Category is belts, buckles, and chains. How fucking generic.
Belts, buckles, and chains.
Because it's just like, use these materials, but at home.
Well, let's start with Kween Kong.
Love.
It's camp, but it's lumpy.
Don't call her lumpy.
There's parts where the belt's just like sitting where it's like sticking out a little bit and it looks odd. Like, and I love this outfit and I love the inspiration because she said this is inspired by her baby niece, which was really cute.
Yeah.
But there's just parts where the belts overlap where they just lose their shape and it's kind of, it takes me out a little bit. But other than that, I really like this and I like the color palette.
Eris, you have a lot of nerve to call people lumpy.
Don't you try it, bitch.
I think you should try some better padding.
My padding is fucking sick. How dare you?
Recently.
Yeah, for the past 2 years when I got my new pad. What? Recently? Oh, as in now that I've lost weight, my pads look good? Is that what you're saying, Reya?
No.
Reya's son's a fat phobe. Fat phobia. You just hate to see me succeed. You fucking bitch. Anyway, anyone else want to discuss this look?
I really like it. The color palette is good. Queen looks good. I don't necessarily like the length of the glove. I think that's like I don't love that length of glove personally. But I love the hair. I love the simultaneous reference to her niece and also the reference to Mean Girls. Like that I really appreciated. But yeah, I think Queen looks good.
Yeah.
Slay. My cup's at a 90.
Excuse me. Mine. I'm going to go 90 as well.
90.
Oh, Spankie Jackzon in the mother tugger tonight.
That's not the lyric, but go on.
I don't know. She's giving me Super Freaky Girl by Nicki Minaj right here. It's a Pink Monday. It's giving a little bit. One thing about me, I'm about to live.
No, if anything, this is Pink Early Bird special on Tuesday.
Oh my god!
I love the wig.
Do you really?
I actually do.
I don't.
Do. Maybe not on Spankie.
No.
I don't know. It fit horribly. Her boobs are sitting in such a weird way.
Her boobs are sitting on her clavicle.
Like, you can see where the breastplate ends, where it sits. There's like a little black spot where the breastplate ends, and it's just sitting on the top of the costume. Like,
literally, if she was padded, all of the problems would have been solved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we know she has pads.
Hmm.
Like,
I got the Barbie reference because, like, it's pink and with white text, and it's her name all over. Like, that's the credit I give to this outfit.
Are we ready to give it a score? Because I certainly am.
Yeah.
You go first.
My cup is empty, shattered on the ground, and I'm not putting it back together.
Okay. For the wig, because I quite enjoy the wig, there is maybe a drop in my cup. Maybe. Reya is gagged.
I was going to say, like, a quarter.
Oh, you're being nice?
Okay. Go ahead.
I like it. I get the Barbie reference. I like the wig. The tits are interesting. I like the chains.
They're giving interesting boobical movements.
Interesting clavicle placement.
We're experimenting with shapes.
And Spankie should experiment with a different shape. Oh God. Conda.
I like this quite a lot. My thing is, it's very short, and I know that was the gag because we're supposed to be able to see her booty hole or whatever. I would have liked this if this went further down and then it was open in the back, say like Detox's infamous booty dress.
Sure.
I think that would have been really good. However, I love the hair, and I think Hannah's makeup looks cunt here.
Yeah.
This is so fucking basic.
I thought the same.
I
And I
hate
hate that
it.
I think that.
I hate it. I really like. This is an absence of a dress. Nothing about this excites me. Nothing about this is groundbreaking. We've seen these elements on Hannah before.
It's a t-shirt, like length.
Like,
and
it's a well-constructed garment. I just don't like it.
I'm not a massive fan, but it fits the theme nicely. There's effort in the wig, obviously.
Yeah. I'm ready to give it a
pick us
score.
off if you want.
Go for it, Reya.
I'm gonna say half full to this.
Eris?
My cup's at an 80. I think even though it is basic, I think it's incredibly well made and it's great. It's got great style to it.
Yeah.
And the details are perfect.
12.
No.
Yeah.
Is that the biggest disparity we've ever had on a
Probably.
12 to 80? That's like at least a difference of like 68.
Oh my God, you can do math!
I almost said 78 and then I realized.
Yeah.
Beverly Killz.
Kine. Okay, so I'm going to interject and explain why I said that. So Kine has a tutorial on her YouTube to create an outfit much like this. And that's what this is. That being said, I think I love the reference to Lord and Savior Britney Spears and that pot noodle headed bitch Justin.
Not the pot noodle.
And I love everything about what Beveragino is wearing, with the exception of the hair. Like I don't like the hair because the hair is a bit of a choppy cut, and I don't think it looks good on Beverly. But yeah, the gloves are lovely. I love the bodysuit. I love that it's got this big flowing thing coming out of the back of it. because that heightens the bodysuit. And I also love the denim boots, and I love the distressed denim. I think I've said this before, but Beverly reminds me of like a lot of what I aspire to do with my drag, and that's why I kind of like Bev a lot. And yeah, I was gonna wear an outfit like this for York Pride, because just reminding you, I'm from York.
Fuck, I was gonna make the joke again.
She's from York.
What?
And then like a week before, I was too tired and threw on this pink denim cowboy outfit I had.
Which looked really good.
I was gonna say it was cute.
Reya, how do you feel about this look from Beverly? Is that really how you feel?
Yeah, I'm a man.
This is a safe place. I hate this.
No.
Yes. It's so cropped up. Nothing looks like it goes together.
Am I the one who's being nice this episode?
Yes.
I'm being nice.
I'm the cunt, and I don't give a fuck. Like, none of the denims look like they go together. The bodysuit is so cropped up, you lose any shape that she has in the middle because you have all of these fucking chains going on. I hate the hair. I hate the way the hat sat on the head. The cape is fine. The gloves are whatever. Her makeup is stun as always, but this just she looks like a twig covered in denim.
It's an outfit.
Well,
tonight on the runway, I'm wearing an adequate dress made out of materials that is on my body.
I think you've both been way too harsh on Beth Regino right here.
I'm not being harsh. I'm being real. It's not the best.
I think she looks great. I think she looks wonderful.
Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck my drag.
If I said Queen was a 75, then I'm going to put this at a sensible 60.
Yes, she's Kween Kong. I'm going to put this at a sensible 74.
Fuck, I was going to make that joke.
I turn the famous down. No, that did not sound like a
30.
Wow.
Foul.
I just don't like this.
Okay.
Sorry, Beverly.
Yuri Guaii.
This screenshot does not do it justice. No offense, Logan, because I know
this
you worked
was
really hard.
This was the only
full
body shot. Like, honestly, by the end of the year, I'm just gonna make a video of a compilation video every time I say this was the only good shot.
This is the thing that annoys me. They should release nice, like, professional, even if it's just Jake. Even if it's just
thank you, France. Thank you, Philippines. Thank you, Canada. The issue is that Drag Race Down Under doesn't have its own social media.
Yeah.
It's like the only franchise that doesn't have its own social media pages. And it was being prompted by the Drag Race UK account for a long time, but now they're not doing it anymore. So now World of Wonder does it, but only on Twitter.
That being said, Yuri was giving me like Snake. She was
what?
I hate you. She was giving me like Reptile. She was giving me the BDSM, Snake Fantasy. Ray, every time you hold that piece of paper up to cover your mouth, I'm assuming there's something written on there. And it just goes blurry so we can't read it. Anyway.
I'm going home.
Yuri for a guy looks amazing in my opinion. I loved the makeup because it was just the black eyeliner and then the black clip. It was clean, it was simple. And I loved the nails because the nails were like the cunt daggers that were all the way out to here. Yeah, this was fantastic. And I loved all the elements of it. And the chain ponytail, bitch.
Yeah.
Chain ponytail.
I hated this. No, I'm kidding. I'm 100% kidding. No, I really
would kill you.
No, I like this look a lot. This is a really good look. Do I wish there was a little bit more going on? Yes. But I think she looks good.
Yeah.
It's a solid bodysuit. There are chains on her body, and I like the chain ponytail.
Yeah.
Well, what? Oh, right.
No, what does it say, girl? We can't say it. We can't see it.
It said Eris is a slut because Reya has decided to write a sign to bully me with your fucking whiteboard.
It's not even a whiteboard.
I don't care,
No,
Mary.
bitch, I'm the one with the whiteboard, mom.
Anyway, I would like... Fuck you, Reya. I would like to say that my cup is full.
Really?
This episode. Yeah,
I agree.
I'll give her a 90.
Slay the world.
Molly Poppinz!
She's giving me Power Ranger villain.
I really like this.
Yeah.
I mean, have we seen this before? Yeah.
Yeah.
Have we seen this several times on Ellie Diamond? Yes.
Yeah.
Does this silhouette look good on Molly Poppinz? Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm just... The drag race obsession with chaps is, like, tiring to me now. Like, I love chaps.
Yeah.
But now that I've worn chaps, I don't think anyone else should wear chaps because chaps...
Honestly, I love Ellie Diamond, but Ellie Diamond killed chaps.
Because
Bitch.
Why are we turning skirts into chaps? Like
Anyway.
Because Brita Filter did it. I hate you. Brita Filter did it. Eloise of Diamonds said it. Did it.
She said Eloise of
I'm
Diamonds.
fighting for my life right now. I'm just tired.
I'm gonna take over. I don't love this. It's kind of reading It's kind of reading Tina Burner taxi look.
Oh my god.
No.
Kinda.
Yeah. No.
Yes.
This is like the evolution. This is like the Pokemon evolution. Tina into Molly. Oh god. I didn't mean to make a drug joke. Can we score this and be done?
Yeah.
And my cup's at an 80. Just
80.
What did I say?
Spankie Mother Tucker in the house tonight.
I'm gonna say 55.
You're mean.
I don't like this.
That's fair. Favorite look? Go. Quickly.
None of them.
Yuri Guaii.
RuPaul.
No, because why did RuPaul have a bindi on her forehead? Like, someone on Twitter made a whole point of that. Like, oh my god. Drag Race India is coming because RuPaul decided to stick something on her forehead.
Would scream, and my roommate would scream, cry, and throw up if Drag Race India happened.
Oh, who was that queen who was on Queen of the World?
Queen of the
Queen
Universe?
Queen of the Universe.
Oh.
Queen of the Universe.
Queen of the World!
Actually,
I know who you're... Oh, no! Let Bombay host.
Yeah, I was going to say either let her host or let Bombay host. And then I remembered Bombay. I was like, yes, let's do this, Bombay.
How could you forget Bombay?
I didn't.
Anyway, Untucked happens. Nothing happened in Untucked.
No, they just had a conversation. You know, Spankie Mother Tucker was in the house tonight. I'm not going to stop saying that. I'm sorry. Oh,
I wish you would stop. Anyway, we go back to the main stage. We find out that the winner is the entire fucking team. I hated this.
It's honestly, it just felt like another way for them to give both Spankie and Hannah a win.
Yeah.
When honestly, it could have just been Queen's win.
It should have just been Queen's win.
Yeah.
Because yes, she's Kween Kong.
Is this our top 3 of the season? Probably.
This and Molly.
I said 3.
Yeah, but we're gonna get a final 4, aren't we?
Okay, but I'm talking about the final 3. I didn't say 4. I said 3.
Well, you hear what you want to hear, Audrey.
Audrey, hey.
Don't you dare compare me to that fucking bitch. Don't you dare compare me to that fucking bitch, Eris Envy. You don't know.
You don't know the half of the abuse.
Children will soon. Oh God. And your children will soon know that was the night the lights went out in Georgia.
The night the lights went out in York.
Because guess what, y'all? Eris from York.
No, bitch, the night the lights went out in York was the time we did a drag show and one of the car parks flooded and I saw someone's house floating downstream. And then we did the show anyway.
Anyway, the bottom two is Molly and Yuri.
I will never forget being in full
God.
drag and this woman crying to me because her motorhome just got flooded. It's fine, she was rich, so it was like she didn't actually live in there, she was just on holiday.
So Molly and Yuri lip sync to Chains by Tina Arena.
This was a lip sync.
This was a really good lip sync, actually.
I think Molly was giving us the bar queen we needed.
S&M remix.
Yeah.
Na na na, come on, da, 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 da. I'm too tired.
Yeah, I thought this was a good lip sync overall. I thought Yuri was giving energy. I thought Molly was also giving energy.
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 Yeah. There's a midway.
It was giving very
Thomas Staghorn. We've become incoherent at this point. But yeah, this was an okay lip sync.
Yuri goes home.
We get back to the workroom and Yuri's not there. It came true.
Do we agree with this?
Unfortunately, yes. I do feel like Yuri did the worst in this episode.
Yeah.
I'm just annoyed because I feel like Yuri had much more potential. And I just feel like the producers weren't giving her the time.
Yeah.
But I'm also kind of feeling that way about like Beverly to an extent. I don't know. Beverly, Minnie, and Yuri, I just felt like producers never gave much energy to, apart from when there's like drama or infighting.
Yeah. Well, that's that.
I just feel like the top 4 we're going to get is very obvious.
I would not have been that upset to see the back of Molly.
I wouldn't have cared. I enjoyed Molly in the first couple of episodes, but now I'm just... Right, if you don't put that goddamn sign away... I'm losing interest a little bit in Molly, I think. I'm not warming to her. And I think it's because we don't get a lot of her in confessionals.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I feel like we get a lot of Spankie confessionals and we get a lot of Hannah confessionals. And we get quite a lot of... Well, no, I don't think we get as much Queen confessionals up until this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that. What's next week? I don't even remember.
It's some sort of branding challenge involving houses. I think.
I think it's a tourism branding challenge.
Oh yay!
It seems like because Rue was like, "There's no place better than Down Under," and I'm like, "Okay, so it's tourism."
Branding.
Branding, because you need a brand. Reya, do you have a brand?
Branding.
Branding.
Oh my god, is my brand unclear skin? Because what the fuck is going on today? I'm gonna zoom back out.
My branding is Poundland.
Slay. I love having to explain that is a shop to Americans.
I knew that.
Like, you have the dollar store, we have Poundland.
Yeah.
My brand is Kroger, which is also a supermarket here.
They're not with us today, but I can tell you that Sam de Monteverde's brand is Kirkland Signature.
Kirkland Signature spring water from Costco.
Yeah.
And with that, we're gonna leave. Bye.
Eris is
silicone, saline. Poison. Inject me, baby. I'm a free batch.
Eris Envy is a cum guzzling whore!